What's up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. My name is James. The other day, Victoria and I had the opportunity to go thrifting in Andersonville. We have about 3 to 4 different thrift stores. We have everything from really curated vintage all the way down to just like sift through some bins and go through that. While I was thrifting, I found the perfect jacket. This is my Levi's vintage Type 3 trucker. I am pumped. So I ended up getting this from a store called the Brown Elephant. So if you're not familiar with the Brown Elephant, they're an amazing kind of thrift store, secondhand store, where all of the profits and the proceeds go to help out the LGBTQ community. They provide healthcare and things like that. I'm so excited to talk to you about this jacket. The big things that I want to go over with you on how I know it's vintage, why I like it. I'm going to compare it to my Orslow jacket, and then I'm going to kind of show you how I would style it from a personal level. Let's go into the vintage aspect of it first. When it comes to vintage, you have to kind of do your own research and figure out your own things. So with this jacket, unfortunately, the tag itself is worn out. So I can't just look at the care tag. So if the care tag is there, traditionally, all you gotta do is flip the back of it and it'll tell you the year of production, and it's easy, easy, easy. Unfortunately, this one does not have the care tag because it is completely worn off. There are some things that I can see on it, so it gives me a little bit of an idea, but I'm gonna have to do some more research with that. I know that the vintage Type 3 jacket came out, I believe, in like the early 60s. I believe it's like 1961, 1962. If you want to get an in-depth like history of Levi's vintage truckers or Levi's in general, I definitely recommend checking out Den and Denim. If you're trying to get some cool ideas too, the Iron Snail, I'm sure if you follow me, you know exactly who he is. I digress. This is a Type 3. I know it is a Mark 1 Type 3 from the fact that it doesn't have hand warmers. So in 1984, Levi's added hand warmers to the pockets, and that's what they are now. So you can put your hands in, obviously, and you know that there are pockets by your side. This one does not have that, so I know it dates back to previously 1983. So now I know that my jacket is at least from 1984. I mean, 84, 83. Then I look at the red tab. The red tab is always a great option to look at. You're already gonna know that it's there. So this is a small E. When you know it's a small E, you know that it's gonna be post, I believe 1970 when for trucker jackets or Levi's jackets. I believe it's 73 or 74 for jeans. Now I know that this jacket is 1973-ish to 1984-ish. So that gives me a general idea of what the jacket is. It's still a number of years that I don't know the exact time. You can actually look by the bottom of it and find out whether it's an early or a late version of that based off of the stitching and the bottom button. If it's from like the early or mid 70s, you're gonna see that there's one stitching. That's how I know that this jacket is that age. Now let's get into what I love about this jacket and why I prefer the more vintage version as opposed to the modern. So the reason why I went with the vintage version, or I'm so happy that I found this, isn't because one is better than the other. Some people have different styles based off of what they want. But for me, the vintage stuff, so like the single, no hand warmer pockets, is shorter. It's more of a crop fit. It wears so well for somebody about my size who tends to be like 5'8", 180 pounds. So I like wearing stuff that's a bit more cropped, and so this is super important for me. Also, I love the fading on it. You can tell that it's just got a natural patina to it. It's got like the perfect amount of fade where it still has a little bit of blue to it, and then in certain areas you can tell where it hasn't gotten as much fading based off of like having the pockets curled up, which I absolutely love. I love having some areas that are darker than others. Around the arms, you're gonna see where there's more fading on like the shoulders and stuff like that. And then around the neck, it's got like a perfect amount of age where it's not like falling apart, but it's still going to be very much wearing in. At the collar area, you can start to see where it's a little bit of fraying. I just think it's just such a cool looking color. I love where like the cotton thread is tightened around it and it started some spiraling. Just such an amazing jacket that I'm so happy to have found. And I only paid 30 bucks. Like, how can you go wrong with that for 30 bucks? Next, I want to compare it to the Orslow jacket. So a few videos ago, if you check right here, I told you that that was the last denim jacket that I planned on buying. And that is partially true. I bought that jacket thinking like, that's my last one, I'm gonna wear it into the ground, but it is a type 2. So the type 2 jacket is fundamentally a different looking jacket, and it's a different feeling jacket. So I wanted something that was a little bit different than that. This feels a little bit more westerny, where the type 2 feels almost like a little bit more workweary. That's the biggest reason why I got it. Also, that one is a one wash, so it still has so much fading to do, where this one has got already that natural fade using, you know, I know this is a Cones Mill denim, so it's just so much cooler that way as well. Now I want to kind of go over how I'll style this. I'm gonna throw up a bunch of videos right now and kind of give you some insight on how I'll do it. Let's get to it. Awesome, everyone. Well, thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or you need anything, or you just want some insight on vintage jackets, feel free to reach out in the comments. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.